welcome back to my kitchen. This I will explain or will be revealed at a later date, but welcome to my 5 things that people do wrong, which is going to include a little bit of baking. Now I know what you're thinking, are you sure that people do it wrong? I am absolutely 100% sure people do it wrong. Do you know why? Because I say they do it wrong, and that's, let's face it, is what's important. But before we get to any of that, we need to cook something. So I have everything already laid out. So we're going to have a bit of cooking as well today. Oven is on, stuff is measured. So we're going to cook some scones, or scones if you're posh. Or scones if you're from up north. That's probably just insulted like a shed load of people. So I've got the recipe I'm going to use on here. It is from the BBC Good Food. I'm going to put this up here. So we've already preheated our oven. And by the way, you should appreciate this, because one second. Apparently my house doesn't have a sieve. Well, I knew I broke my sieve, and I borrowed one off my mum a bit ago to clean my fish out, so I couldn't use that one. So I asked her if she got another one, because she told me at the time she did, which is why she gave me the one to clean my fish out, and then she said she hasn't got another one. So I looked for it, no, not another one. So I've had to use a tea strainer to sieve 350 grams of flour. Not fun. But anyway, enough about that. Oh, one second. We're back after a brief interruption. I've completely forgot where I was. But anyway, yeah, we're going to be cooking some scones anyway. So like I said, everything is measured out, got the recipe, so we're going to whack them together, stick them in the oven, and then finish the rest of the video. So, preheat the oven to 200. Whoa! Don't drop your phone. 220. Right, there we go. 220 degrees. Tip: 350 grams of self-raising flour, which we have here, into a bowl. Big bowl. Let's go to that. This isn't a professional cookery show. I don't have people to clean up after me. Right, add 85 grams of butter in cubes. So here's our 85 grams of butter in cubes. So 85 grams of butter. Right, what else we need? Just realised I'm going to need another spoon. Bear with me 1 second. And yes, I know the spoon doesn't match, but the ones that do match are stuck behind my light, and I'm not moving that out of the way just to get a spoon. Right, here we go. Where are we? This should be a fairly simple recipe, I'm sure. Added 5 grams of... Right, hold on. I should have put my glasses on. Add 85 grams of butter cubes, then rub in with your fingers until the mix looks like fine crumbles. Then stir in 3 tablespoons of caster sugar. So you'll have to bear with me 1 second. Don't worry, I have washed my hands. We are all COVID friendly here. It's slowly coming together. I will probably cut some of this out, because I'm sure you don't just want to see me doing this. My videos are boring enough without that. So you should end up something that looks a bit like that. Hopefully you can see that. Ignore those lumps, because they're not actual, they're just where the flowers group together up there. But basically something that should look like that. Where were we? Right. With your fingers till the mix looks like crumbs, and then stir in 3 tablespoons of caster sugar, which is why we had to get the other spoon. So here's our caster sugar going everywhere. One, 2, 3. So there's our 3 tablespoons of caster sugar in the bowl. Let's have a look. Into a nice bowl. What stage are we on? Sweet and right. Put the 175 grams of in what now? Put 175 ml of milk into a jug and heat in the microwave for about 30 seconds to warm it. Okay, so I've got to microwave this milk. It's a bit weird, I don't know why you would do it with warm milk. But put the milk in the microwave for 30 seconds so it's warm but not hot. It also asks for some vanilla essence, which I don't have and I couldn't find any anywhere. Morrison's, I went to 2 different Morrison's, they didn't have any. Microwave's beeping, corner shop didn't have any. But I do have a lemon, so I will put a bit of lemon juice in. Fantastic sugar. There's our warm milk. Squeeze of bowl. Lemon. I'm just going to do half lemon. I'll have the other half in some water later. I think we're done with those now. I'm going to get those out of the way. Right, so back to the instructions, so just bear with me. 175 grams of milk into a jug, microwave, heat not too hot. Add 1 teaspoon put on a baking sheet in the oven. Put a baking sheet in the oven. Oh right, okay. Right, so I guess I'm going to mix this up. It's not actually. Right, so we've mixed all that together. I'm just going to go and get some greaseproof paper and some flour. Don't know why my mouse goes there. Right, so just going to play about with it for a minute just to get it all ready. I'm still doing this on my cooker because my table is still full of stuff. I'm just going to plug that back in there for a moment. Put some flour down. Here we go. Some on the old rolling pin. Sorry I'm having to have my back turned to everybody. I'm just going to roll and fold for a little bit just to get some bits in that out of it, hopefully. Right, so I think that should do it. This is just egg to brush the top with in a minute. So we can go into the mixing bowl because we're going to need some space for the baking trays. So let's get everything out of the way. I'm not sure how many this is supposed to do. You can freeze these as well. It'll just tell you on the instructions on the recipe how to freeze them. I will, if I remember, hopefully I will put the recipe link in the description of the video. Right, let me just double check something here. Make a well, scatter down the surface. Fold the dough 3 to 4 times and that until smooth. Done that. Pat around 4 centimeters deep. So now I've got it all laid out. Working on that. One noticeable thing to say actually is I am planning on changing the direction of my YouTube videos as soon as I can, just to put something else in that I want to put in, but I can't do it at the moment because I need to raise about £500 first because it does require some funding, but obviously there'll still be videos like this as well in between. So. make quite a few of this, and that's why I'm not really quite got the thickness right, but we'll see. At least I'm not going to go hungry for a few days anyway. Right, so I'm just going to put this one in, and then when the other ones come out, I'll be able to put those ones in, because I don't have any more baking trays. Oh, the other ones are raising nicely. Hopefully me opening the oven door isn't going to ruin them. Didn't think about that. So I'm just going to have a tidy up. Once they're all out of the oven, I'll let you have a look at them, and then we'll continue from there. So, but fairly simple. So I mean, fairly simple. I'll just go through the recipe and that again, or what you need. So it's 350 grams of self-raising flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 85 grams of butter cut into cubes, 3 teaspoons of caster sugar, 175 milligrams of milk. It does ask for 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I haven't put in. Lemon juice, which I'll put half a lemon in it. It just says lemon juice. 1 beaten egg to glaze, which I forgot to do. I didn't glaze them when I put them in. Idiot. And then obviously serve them as you wish. In case you put the flour, baking powder and salt in, the butter, massage it into that crumb, add the milk. I think you're supposed to add the salt as well with the first bit, sorry. Add the lemon, obviously give it all a bit of a mix, put some flour down, roll it out, and basically just do what I did, and you've got some scones. So yeah, see you in a few. Everything's now out of the oven. Now, when I bought the cutter that I use, I got it from Amazon recently because I knew I was going to be making this video, and when it came I wasn't overly impressed, and it wasn't quite the size I thought it was, so I must have misread the ad. So they have come out quite small. They're kind of more like biscuits, but they are very tasty. I have tried one, and you can still put stuff on them, or maybe put like stuff between two, or you can still cut them open, but they're not come too bad. The last lot that I put aside, I did manage to remember to put brush with the egg, which is why they're a nicer colour, and I basically put 2 into 1, so they've come out a bit better. Basically I need to get a better cutter, but they are very nice. Now I know what you're thinking, that's wonderful, but why have we done all of this? Well, now I'm going to take you through 5 things that people do incorrectly. Now I know what you're thinking, are you sure? Are you really quite sure about this? And let me tell you, I am very sure about this. So, we're going to do this one last, just because, well, there are reasons. So, first one. Here is one thing. Now I mentioned this in a previous video. Now I've had a load of these sauces. Now I've actually got some less now because I have used a couple, and I used 2 that went out of date in 2018. Not out of date. Don't say out of date. Now you're becoming stupid. I used 2 that were best before the end of 2018. They were a potato bake sauce. I've made 2 potato bakes now. I've eaten them both. They were both perfectly fine. The quality was perfectly fine. The taste was fine. It probably would have been a bit better if I'd have eaten it before its best before date. But my point is, just because it says it's past its best before, it does not mean you can't eat it. It does not mean it won't be good, and it doesn't mean it won't be edible. I was going to show you some of the potato bake I made, but I had the last of it for lunch earlier and forgot I was filming this video. Obviously, I sort of a year and a bit is probably it's quite a while, and I wouldn't suggest leaving something that long. But obviously, if you have got something that's 3, 4, 5 months past its best before, don't throw it away. You can use it. Okay, let's move on to let's move on to another one. I'm not going to number them because I'm not sure what order I'm going to cut these into the video yet. Butter. Now I know you're thinking, how can you use butter wrong? Oh my friend, you can use butter wrong. And I had some housemates that have done this particularly. Now, as you can see with my butter, although ignore the little bit on the side, it's not perfectly even, but it's, you know, there's no big divots or anything, although this one is nearly empty. When people use butter, it should be nice and smooth, and then, you know, if you use that bit, you should turn around and use that bit. These people that just take big chunks and just end up with like a massive divot down one side, you are crazy people. You are crazy people. That is not how you use butter. It should be nice and as smooth as possible. Do not leave great big divots in my butter, because I will find you and give you a good slap. So there's another one for you. A very food and drinky theme going off today, but not everything is food and drink related. So the next one is tea. So in here I've got a tea bag, as you can see there. Now my dad does this one. He insists he does it right, but you know, he's getting on a bit, memory's going. So, you know, we don't listen to him. Tea. Always hot water first. People that put the milk in first, again, not to be trusted. You don't know what your tea is going to come out like. You're going to steal this spoon. It's quite simple. You pour the tea in, even if you're doing it from a teapot. Still, tea first, milk second, always. How otherwise are you going to know how strong you get it? There you go. So look, perfect cup of tea. Every single time, guaranteed. Almost. Hot cup of tea. Now the thing is, we're now moving to coffee. Coffee is different. If you're doing instant coffee like this, you sort of want to know roughly how strong you're going to be making it. And because with tea bags you're never really quite sure with the whole stirring and everything and all that, whereas with coffee you're pretty much good to go. And voila! Look at that! You put the amount of milk in, that's great. These are all good tips. You should be paying attention to all of these. And that is the best way to make coffee. Good coffee. Now, like many rules, there's always an exception. I'm going to be peeing like a racehorse after this. Bear with me. Filter coffee. Now you're never quite sure what you're getting with filter coffee. So filter coffee is kind of like tea. You should always put the coffee in first. And the milk in second. Perfect. Cheers. So that takes care of coffee, and that takes care of tea. So that brings us on to our scones. So I've got two of our scones here which I've buttered. Now there is a debate about which way round is correct. Whether you put the jam on first, like this, and then just proper clotted cream. Whoops, making it a little bit like that. That's the jam one, isn't it? I think I can't remember now. Or I'm doing this wrong now. You put. Just going to get a clean knife. So whether you put the jam on, then the cream, or whether you put the cream on first, then the jam. Oops. Still a bit soft. You can put it in my coffee machine running away in the background as well, sorry about that. the problem is, if you put, a lot of the time, especially if you go somewhere, the clotted cream is a lot softer. So if you then try and put jam on it, it goes everywhere. Like now. So let me answer this question once and for all. If you've done this, the cream and then the jam, there is something wrong with you. It is not the correct way. Every sane person knows you put the jam on and then you put the cream on top of the jam. That is the best way to do it. Perfect. I know what you're thinking. What am I doing staring at a toilet roll? But this is a very important one, and I'll tell you why. This is the incorrect way to hang a toilet roll for a number of reasons, but the biggest one is it means you're a psychopath. Honestly, trust me, would I make this up? Absolutely not. So we take it off, turn it around, voila! This means you're perfectly sane and not about to go out on a mass, I don't know, whatever. But there we go. This is the correct way to hang a toilet roll. So there we go, we have learned things today. So you can now take this newfound knowledge and go out into the world, and if you have made any of these errors, you can now correct them. Thank you for watching. I don't know if you can see me or not, and I'll catch you next time.
Jet plane headed up to the sky, spread wings and the clouds getting